So guys, NEO has been quietly and secretly jacking up the price of battery swap here in China. All right. And the way they're doing it is they're increasing the service fee price from around 30. Most swap stations used to be around 30 RMB for the service fee on top of the electricity fee per swap. But most now seem to have adjusted up to 50. Okay. Now, what's really interesting is if we compare the price of battery swap versus NEO's Supercharger. So NEO's Supercharger, it costs 2.65 RMB per kilowatt hour. So if you were to fully charge a 75 kilowatt hour battery pack from zero, it will cost you 198 RMB. Okay, 198. But with swap, it costs 1.47 for electricity times 75 kilowatt hours plus 50 swap service fee. You come out at 160. So it's actually quite interesting how swapping is about 38 RMB cheaper than NEO's own supercharger. Supercharging basically. So you not only save time, but you save money as well compared to NEO's own supercharging. But how does it compare with some of the other DC chargers out there? So some of the public DC chargers that other businesses have, or just that other people, all EVs can use in general. All right, NEO's supercharger, everybody can use as well. But the real advantage for NEO's supercharging is the fact that it's faster, it's more stable, and the fact that it's readily available even in very remote places. So for those random chargers, and by the way, these stats, these information were all about the swap station that's nearest to me, and that's the supercharger that's next to the swap station. And also these random chargers are also DC chargers across the street from the swap station basically. And so the random chargers, they go from like 1.55 all the way up to 1.66 kilowatt hours per RMB per kilowatt hours. So it ranges from 116 to 127 RMB to fully charge a 75 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is considerably cheaper than NEO's 160. But you do get, I guess, time benefit. It's roughly around maybe like 60-70% the cost of a battery swap. So most people, they will choose the time convenience. Now, what's really interesting is the break-even price. So NEO CEO said in the past that it takes about 60 swaps per day to break even. Okay, there's some things that complicate this, but let's dive a little bit deeper. So with service fee, and that was, by the way, with service fee at 30 RMB per swap. So with this adjustment in price, okay, 50 RMB service fee instead of 30, then the break even would only take about 36 swaps per day, which is much more reasonable because 60 swaps per day is actually kind of hard to reach. Now, how is NEO actual performance relative to that break-even number? Well, if we look at the number of swaps that they did, so from 20 million to 25 million swaps, it took them 102 days. So that equals to about 49K swaps per day. From 25 million swaps to 30 million swaps, it took them 87 days, which is approximately about 57K swaps per day. So quite a lot of swaps, man. You imagine 57K swaps. From 30 to 35 million swaps, it took 84 days. So that comes out to around 59.5K swaps per day. And if you do the math on that, and NEO has about 2,000 swap stations, then it comes down to about 29.75 swaps per station per day. So that seems very reasonable, and it seems like they're very close to that break-even number of 36 swaps per day with that 50 RMB service charge. This is very good. This is very good. Now, the thing that complicates this, and by the way, we already know that NEO's supercharger, supercharging, power charging, is already profitable. NEO has said that. NEO CEO has said that many times. But what complicates swapping profitability is the fact that most NEO owners like me, we get swapping for free. All right. Most NE owners that bought their cars before July of 2023, which is a lot. All right, a lot of people bought their cars before July of 2023. They get about either 4 or 6 swaps free per month, or unlimited. Like me, I get unlimited. I can swap as many times as I want. It's all free. But I've noticed this price change, this variation in price, because before, even back in like October of 2023, when I would regularly swap like once every 5 days or so, I noticed that, you know, my total swap fees, even though it's free, would come out to about like 70-ish, maybe 80-ish at max, but sometimes 60 to 80-ish. But with this price adjustment, all right, my swapping fee has gone up to about 100, all right, even though it's all completely free, but they write it anyway for like the invoice basically. So that is a quite noticeable difference. And you know, I've kind of been a little bit oblivious to this change in price, but a lot of NE owners that bought their cars after July of 2023 have noticed this, and it has a profound impact on them, because, you know, it's gotten more expensive. But it also shows that NEO is trying to become more profitable. And I think this is getting very, very close to profitability. Now, what's really interesting is the fact that today, CATL and also DD, they signed and formed a joint venture for battery swapping business. And you'd think that this might be arguably be bad for NEO. Maybe they're going to be a competitor for NEO. But I learned back in 2022 that when CATL started the EVOGO, which is basically CATL's swap station stuff, the technology was basically all provided from NEO, and it was more like what the CEO likes to do, and it's basically they work with suppliers and to develop long-term relationship and long-term goals to mutually benefit each other, and not just in terms of like you sell me this, I buy it from you, but more like other stuff that they could also work on. And this was one of them. This CATL's own swapping stuff is actually using a lot of NEO's technology, and it was given to them, provided to them by NEO in good faith, and basically they have their own thing going on to further strengthen the relationship between the two companies. And it shows that, you know, DD, Uber of China, they're gonna do battery swapping as well for their own basically Uber fleet. It shows that standardization for battery swap is going to come very soon. NEO's going to work very hard to get that standardization within NEO's own pockets. So for those naysayers that say battery swapping is stupid and bad, they really gotta wake up. To round that off, I got this excellent video clip of the new Kawasaki Ninja E, which is like the motorcycle, the fast motorcycle, and it's fully electric, and they got swappable batteries. Take a look at this video. Absolutely crazy. But as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.
Pull your key, open it up. There's a little lever here. Just turn that, and this easily pops out. No other latches. Pull out that one. Pull out that one. Simple as that. So if you were going to take these to your room, to your house, charge them, you would go in, take them in, and you would plug into this. One end to the wall. This plugs into the other end of the battery. You can see here. So simple as that. This goes in here, plugged to the battery. Real easy to drop the batteries in. Like that. Just line that up, lock it into place.
That's it.
That is it. Key, and you're done. On the bike, you would go here, and it's going to charge both batteries. To do both batteries, about 7.5 hours, it's about 3.25 hours per battery.